You know that feeling, right? You're standing in the aisle, you're holding a product, and you're just squinting at all that tiny text on the label, trying to figure it all out. Well, you're definitely not alone. So let's dive in and finally make sense of the fine print together.
Does this look a little familiar? Yeah, it's that standard drug facts label you see on pretty much any over-the-counter medicine. And while it's packed with super important info, let's be honest, it can feel like you need a science degree just to read it.
But here's the thing, this really matters. Taking just a second to read and understand these labels isn't just some chore. It's actually a super powerful way to take control of your own health and make choices that are safe for you and your family.
So let's start with maybe the most important label of all, the one you find on your medicine.
We're going to use a regular old cold and flu medicine as our example here. And I'm going to show you a super simple 3-step method that you can use on basically any medicine label to figure it out quick.
So here's the game plan. It's just 3 questions. First, what is this actually for? That's the purpose and use. Second, how am I supposed to take it? That's your directions and dosage. And third, is there anyone who shouldn't take this? And that's where you find the warnings. Purpose, directions, warnings. That's it. Simple.
All right, step 1 is purpose. Just look for the use section. This part tells you in plain language what the medicine is supposed to treat. You know, like this cold medicine might say it's for reducing fever. This is your first stop just to make sure you've even got the right product in your hand. Okay, step 2, the directions. Think of this part as your user manual for taking the medicine safely. It tells you exactly how much to take and how often to take it. For example, 2 tablets every 6 hours. Following this part to the letter is absolutely crucial. And that brings us to a really important word, dosage. It's just a fancy way of saying how much medicine to take at one time. And you have to pay close attention here, because a teaspoon is a whole lot different than a tablespoon, and mixing those up can be a big deal. So always check the unit.
And finally, step 3, the warnings. Seriously, this one is a biggie. It tells you who needs to be extra careful, or in some cases, who shouldn't take the medicine at all. You'll see notes about age, if you're pregnant, or other health conditions. Whatever you do, never skip reading this section.
Now, what's cool is that the skills we just learned for medicine, they don't just stop there. They're just as important when we're standing in the grocery store looking at our food.
And you'll start to see it everywhere. Take a look. Even for totally different things like a box of cereal and a bottle of juice, the labels have a really similar setup. Once you know how to read one, you can pretty much decode anything in your kitchen. So with food, there are 4 main things we're going to look for. We'll start with serving size, which, trust me, is a tricky one. Then we'll check out the calories for energy. After that, we'll scan for key nutrients like sugar or fat. And last but not least, we'll look at the ingredients to see what this stuff is actually made of. Okay, let's zoom in on serving size, because this is probably the #1 thing people get wrong on a nutrition label. Every single number you see, the calories, the fat, the sugar, it all applies to just 1 serving. So if you eat the whole bag of chips, you might actually be eating 2 or 3 servings, which means you got to multiply all those numbers.
Next up, the ingredients list. This is like your backstage pass to what's really in your food. They're always listed by weight, starting with what there's the most of. So here's a little pro tip. If you see sugar listed as one of the first couple ingredients, you know right away there's a lot of it in there. So we've tackled medicine labels, we've broken down food labels. Now let's pull it all together into a simple toolkit you can use anytime, anywhere. Think of this as your quick cheat sheet. For medicine, dosage is how much, and a warning is who shouldn't. For food, serving size is the key to all the other numbers, calories are the energy, and ingredients tell you what it's made of. See? The basic idea is pretty much the same across the board. And if you're in a hurry, you can use the super quick 3-second check. For any product, just ask yourself these 3 things. 1, what is it for? 2, how much do I use? And 3, what's in it? If you can answer those, you'll know 90% of what you need to know just like that. So what's the big idea here? It's really about building a habit. Because the best time to figure out what a label says isn't when you're already feeling sick or rushing through the store. The best time is right now. I want to leave you with this one thought. It's so easy to just look at the big, flashy marketing words on the front of a package, but the real story, the most important information about that product, it's almost always hiding in the smallest print on the back. So, I have a question for you. After going through all this, what's one product you have at home right now, maybe in your medicine cabinet, maybe in your pantry, that you're going to go look at with a fresh pair of eyes? I hope this helps.